If you believe in free market and capitalism, you believe in antitrust. We've seen concentration and highly consolidated markets in everything from cat food to caskets.
This issue affects almost everything you do. Angry at banks? Well, the industry is dominated by just these four. Frustrated with your health insurance provider? Odds are it's one of these. And if this whole story is infuriating you so much that you are yearning for the sweet escape of death, well, bad luck, because the casket industry is controlled by these three companies.
Since then, one bought the other, so there's only two. There has just been a lot of consolidation over the last decades due to conservative court rulings, a Congress that's afraid of making change, and it's time to make antitrust cool again and do it again. And one way you make it cool is by not calling it antitrust. It's better to call it competition policy. We like competition. We want competition. So you don't want one big company that eats up everything. The best example of this, online travel. You think you're going and getting a bunch of good deals? Two companies own over 90% of those sites. Expedia owns like 8 of them. They just have different names. It is literally consolidation right in front of you. Monopolies have every incentive to rip people off, and they have every incentive to not innovate. People wonder, hey, why do we not have good privacy bells and whistles with the social media sites? Why is there misinformation? Well, we should regulate that, yes. But another way we could have done it is by allowing competitors with Facebook and Google. Guess what? They bought everything in sight. It was very obvious what he was doing. He was just buying any potential competitor in sight. And so one of the things that I'm proposing with legislation is to make it easier for the government to bring cases and start looking at this. Because if you want to have Instagram that could have actually competed with Facebook, well, you lost that chance because Facebook owns it now. And you can see that throughout the search engines, where Google, with 90% of the market share of search engines, was literally able to hold the entire country of Australia hostage for a while and said, you want to try to charge for our content? Well, we're going to leave the market, then you'll have nothing. That is a sheer sign of a monopoly. So what this means is better enforcement and changes to the laws so it's easier to bring the cases. So you have to keep the antitrust laws going, or you develop monopolies, then there's no incentive to develop seeds that can cope with a changing environment. There's no incentives to bring down costs. And mostly, and workers gotta know this part about antitrust, if you only got one employer, you think they're really gonna compete for your wages? No. Once you start having companies competing with each other, they're also competing with you, and then for you to work for them. That puts you in a better place to negotiate instead of just going to one big company. So there is a whole bunch of Republicans who have been coming up to me on the Senate floor and have said, this isn't just about tech. There's too much consolidation. Our farmers can't bring their goods to market. The grocery stores are closing down. The little pharmacies are closing down. If you believe in free market and capitalism, you believe in antitrust, because if you want competition, you can't have one big guy dominating a whole market and a gateway to everything that happens.